Welcome to my channel. In a world full of opportunities and challenges, it's easy to feel lost, especially when the path to success doesn't seem clear. Meet Tony, a young man brimming with passion and ambition, yet unsure of the direction his life should take. At 25, he's stuck in a cycle of daily routines, working a stable job in a marketing company. But something feels missing. Despite the achievements on paper, Tony can't shake the feeling that he's meant for more. He's searching for that elusive key to unlock the door to true success. Little does he know, his journey is about to take an unexpected turn. One that will reshape the way he views failure, success, and the most important thing of all, himself. Tony, 25 years old, was a young man full of passion and ambition to succeed. However, like many other young people, he always felt lost in a world full of challenges and opportunities, but also fierce competition. While he had many dreams, Tony always felt like he was missing something. He couldn't clearly define what the key to opening the door to success in life was. Tony had graduated from university and held a stable job at a marketing company, but he still didn't feel satisfied. His busy days at the office often left him feeling like just another cog in an endless machine, where numbers and targets were the only things that mattered. He began to ask himself, am I doing what I really want? Am I heading in the right direction? One day, after a long, intense meeting, Tony decided to take a walk to clear his mind. He wandered through familiar streets and, by chance, ran into an old friend, Lucas, whom he hadn't seen in a while. Lucas was very different from Tony. He always lived life on his own terms, constantly seeking new opportunities, challenges, and never stopped learning. When Tony asked Lucas about success, Lucas didn't hesitate to share a story that would completely change Tony's perspective. Tony! Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the key to unlocking that door is perseverance. The ability to accept failure, and most importantly, having confidence in yourself. Lucas shared his experience of starting his own business, the struggles, and the constant failures. He had to start over from scratch after every setback. But Lucas never gave up. What made Lucas different was his ability to learn from failure and always find ways to improve every day. Tony listened to these words, and they echoed in his mind. He realized that he hadn't really faced challenges head-on, hadn't truly accepted failure as a learning experience. After that conversation, Tony decided to change. He began to spend more time on himself, exploring his true passions. He no longer focused solely on his job or the targets set by his company. Instead, he started pursuing personal projects and testing creative ideas that he had always dreamed of but never dared to try. Gradually, Tony realized that the key to success wasn't a secret or a single factor. It was a combination of many elements: perseverance, passion, the ability to accept failure and learn from mistakes, and most importantly, never losing confidence in yourself, Tony began to notice a change within himself. He felt more confident, proactive, and ready to face any challenge, whether it was failure or success. And then, one day, Tony received a partnership offer from a large company he had always wanted to work for. But what mattered more than anything was that he understood that success didn't just come from an opportunity. It came from the process of continuous self-development and effort. After his conversation with Lucas, Tony felt as though a new door had opened. He realized that to succeed, it wasn't just important to have a solid foundation of knowledge and skills, but also to know how to build meaningful relationships. Therefore, he decided to embark on his journey not only by improving himself, but also by expanding his network with people who could support and inspire him. Tony understood that one of the most important factors on the journey to success was the people around him. He couldn't do everything on his own. And sometimes, valuable relationships could bring opportunities that he couldn't create by himself. So, he began attending networking events, seminars, and talks about the marketing industry. At one such event, Tony met Anna, the CEO of a prominent startup. Anna not only had deep knowledge of the industry, but was also very passionate and open-minded. Anna and Tony quickly connected, sharing experiences and discussing new trends in marketing. The inspiration from their conversation helped Tony realize that creativity and long-term vision were crucial elements for career development. From that moment, Tony and Anna stayed in touch and frequently exchanged ideas on creative projects. Anna became a mentor to Tony, and she introduced him to investors and experts in the industry. Thanks to these connections, Tony realized that building valuable relationships could be a key to unlocking opportunities at work. As Tony continued to grow in his career, he realized that no path to success was without obstacles. Although he had important connections and was pursuing new opportunities, his first major challenge came when his company faced a financial crisis. The company had to cut staff and change its strategy. While Tony wasn't directly responsible, he still felt the heavy pressure from the instability. Once again, Tony met with Lucas, whom he had started talking to more frequently. Lucas shared with him how he dealt with difficult times during his entrepreneurial journey. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, Lucas said. See it as a valuable lesson. If you can overcome these challenges, you will become stronger and understand yourself better. This advice made Tony change his approach. Instead of feeling fearful and discouraged, he decided to focus on solving the problems and finding creative solutions to help the company overcome the crisis. He and his colleagues worked on optimizing work processes, reducing costs while maintaining quality service. As a result, the company not only survived the crisis but also grew stronger in the years that followed. Even though Tony had made great strides in his career, he still felt that something was missing. He began to ask himself, what is success really? Am I truly living according to my passions and goals? He realized that throughout this process, even though he had succeeded professionally, he still hadn't fully understood himself. One day, Tony decided to take a week off to travel and seek peace of mind. He went to a small seaside village where there were no work pressures, only nature and tranquility. This was the moment when he began to reflect on everything from a different perspective. He realized that success wasn't the final destination, but rather the process of growth, learning, and self-discovery. True success came when one found balance between work, relationships, and mental well-being. It was then that Tony understood that success wasn't a fixed concept, but a journey that constantly changes and develops.